Greetings, familia. Thank you so much for joining me for another pick a card. This is going to be the Star-Crossed Lovers pick a pile, and basically this is a special I have going on. Today is Valentine's Day as I'm recording this, but this is a timeless reading. Most of my readings are timeless, so when you find it, it's for you. And basically what I'm looking at here is going to be the singles. So those who are not in a committed relationship, you might be in a situationship, a karmic or twin flame journey, soulmate journey. If that's something that you resonate with, this is going to be that pile that you'll choose. And then this second pile is for those who are in committed relationships. And basically what we're looking at is one, be it with the person in mind or with your future soulmate or your committed relationship, what brings you together, what pulls you apart, and what is the biggest lesson in this relationship, okay? And if you just want to do it general, like, something about friendships or things like that, you can also apply it to there. This is the timeless reading, and whenever you are meant to find it, you have. So if you can, definitely go and if you're not in this first pile, you can switch to the second pile. Time steps are below. All right, so let's look at what's going on with those who are in a situationship, those who are single. Perhaps there's someone in your mind right now, so maybe an ex-partner or someone you have no contact with, or just a future soulmate in mind. So we're gonna look at what brings you together, okay? So what brings you together, and we'll also pull some tarot. All right, so we have morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. Okay, so what brings you together is there's like a lot of beautiful energy that I'm getting from this. This is from the Rose Oracle. And I think it's very interesting that it's like what brings you together is positivity, is optimism, right? We always hear it in different readings or things like that. It's like if you're trying to attract or being magnetic towards a loving relationship, like you have to be cultivating that yourself, right? And so what I see here is that this relationship or the person that you have in mind, one thing that really brings you guys together is the idea of starting anew, right? Like you are literally looking at how can we become better together, and that's really positive. We can dive a little deeper, and then let's see. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Okay, I love this because even though Aquarius is a air sign, it's always going to be symbolized by the water bearer. And if you actually look at these two women, they look almost like they're in the exact same position. It's actually very interesting. I've never seen it so clear that both of these women are basically the same, right? They're nude, they're in this water. And so again, it's like you pour into each other. That's the energy that I'm getting of this relationship, that when it's good, it's amazing because the love that pours and flows between the two of you is like where you feel the most authentic. So this relationship really strives when you're authentic, right? Like when you're in your power, when you're in your flow. If you're a woman, a female watching this, or a feminine watching this, excuse me. If you're a feminine watching this, just know that the more you pour into yourself, the more that you become more attractive and that you will attract this person. And this person really loves it, and it can be feminine or masculine, but it's more attractive when you pour into yourself, right? And so that's just really beautiful. Let's see what else we get. I just threw them there. All right, let's see. What is something that like pulls you guys away? Or pulls you away from each other. Okay, so Anima Mundi, this is very interesting as what like kind of pulls you away. So there's just something about consciousness and spirituality. So perhaps the person that you're thinking about right now, they're not that spiritual, or they're not necessarily connected deeply within themselves, right? So this is like a big contrast actually, because in here, it's like what brings you together is this flow, this attractiveness, this self-love, self-care, optimism, being your most authentic self. But what pulls you apart is that either one of you or both of you, or, just in the relationship, there's no like spiritual basis, or there's no chance of growing. So if there has been a person in your mind, particularly pile number one, that you just feel like, I really care for this person, and we do have some like a lot of attraction or care or chemistry, but there's something missing. And I think what's missing is that one person is either more evolved spiritually than the other, and it's not that both people have to be spiritually evolved to have a good relationship. One person can always be more evolved. That does not matter, but there is a point where it becomes incompatible. And so if this resonates, just know that the more you work on yourself, the more that you really dive deeper into your realization, self-realization, self-love, the more aligned you are to the right relationships, okay? Because I feel like if this is what's tearing you apart, then that might not be the person in your mind, right? And if the soulmate, if you have no one in your mind right now, and it's just like a soulmate energy that you're trying to tap into, I do see that there could be this sense of like, your soulmate has to be evolved to a certain degree, or you even have to be evolved into a certain degree to actually come together and be together. So I know it's hard to hear when we are already doing the work and we're like, what? Like, why is it that I've been doing the work, or they've been doing the work, or whatever, we've been doing the work, but why is it that we can't come together? And it's just because you're not at that point yet where you can come together. So I see two people here really pouring into themselves first, and then, coming to the relationship after. So what's the biggest lesson, right? And then we'll pull some tarot cards. So the situation will improve. Okay, there's a lot of ideas of optimism here. It's like really being optimistic about your situation, pile one, and then within the next few weeks. Okay, so that's very good. What's the biggest lesson here is that things can change quickly. Okay, that this is not a story that has to keep repeating year after year after year, okay? Within the next few months, the situation will improve. Now, if this is just because you are loving yourself more, right? If you've been in the dumps and you came to this reading, you're like, you know what, I just need to hear some type of positive affirmation, then the positive affirmation is that your situation will improve the more that you pour into yourself, the more that you feel like this center, like this anima mundi. Okay, so let's pull some tarot and then we'll move on to pile two. For pile one, what else would they need to know about this relationship that's either in the mind or a future relationship for those who are single or in a situation? Pile one. Okay, so let's see. We have, the Emperor. Ooh, love that. Love that a lot. Okay, let's see. What else do we get? The Emperor, which is that Aries energy. The Four of Swords, and we're just going to pull one more. The Six of Pentacles. Okay, interesting. So again, I'm getting this energy and then the Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So there is some movement here, right? The situation will improve as long as you stay focused and on track and go with where your guides are leading you, okay? Because there is this big, it looks like a vulture kind of energy here, and it's kind of leading this guy to a new path. So what we have here, what are those biggest, this relationship, future relationship or the relationship in your mind, what's happening? Well, first we have this Emperor, right? So this is a steady relationship. The relationship that you are calling into your life or that you're wanting to see some improvements. One of you is coming out as the Emperor, and that could be the one that's a little bit more dominating, maybe the one that's a little bit more spiritually evolved. And then you have this Four of Swords. So it's like, I'm getting this idea of the more you love yourself, the more you pour into yourself, the more attractive you become. Look at how this Emperor is just looking at this woman who's in this nest, right? She's taking care of herself. She's pouring into herself. She's being authentic. She's allowing herself to heal. And the Emperor hears that and is like, I'm just getting, because like if I'm looking at this like color here, it's like spirit is working between the two of you in different ways, okay? Through stability, but also through healing. And then with the Six of Pentacles, I love that because this just talks about like karmic justice, and we see these two hands and we see this kind of alignment happening. And for some of you, it is within the next few weeks that you're going to have some type of contact with this person, or you're just gonna find this like really big enthusiasm to let things go, pour the love within yourself, and know that there is someone who is like doing the same things as you, like pouring into themselves, also aligned spiritually, and it's just a matter of time. So if I were to say any time here for you guys, we have the few next weeks, but that could be 4 or 6 weeks. Basically from here we got 2 4s, or it could be the 4th month, April, based on February. We're in February right now, or it can be just 4 months from now, or just the number 4, stability can be important. So that's kind of a general reading of what kind of brings you together, what pulls you apart, and the biggest lesson. So again, the biggest lesson here is definitely pour within yourself, be aligned, allow yourself to be guided, and be your most authentic self, and that's going to be how you attract this soulmate into your life. Okay, so that is your reading, pile 1. Thank you so much for your trust, and as always, sending you mucha luz. All my information to book any readings are below, as well are on my website. And thank you guys so much again, and let's go to the next reading. Okay, all right, so pile number 2, if you chose this reading, this is for you. This is actually going to be for those in committed relationships, okay? What we're going to be seeing is what pulls you, or what brings you together, what pulls you apart, and what's the biggest lesson in this relationship, at least up to now, up to this time, okay, that you're watching this. All right, so what brings you together? The Rose Garden, innocence, forgiveness, be gentle with yourself. Ooh, I love this for my lovers out there in committed relationships. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. Okay, you and your love, that the person that you're in a committed relationship with, you guys are definitely growing together, okay? You guys have gone through a lot of different ups and downs, and what you have found is the more that you are gentle, the more that you forgive, the more that you are innocent in this relationship, the higher you guys can soar together, right? And it's like waxing moon again. It's like this growing energy. Your momentum is gaining. So being even active, right? Being in nature. These are things that just like make you guys come together, right? When you guys are being gentle with each other. I know sometimes some certain relationships, they really thrive on like a lot of passion, but I'm not saying that there's no passion here, but the passion is innocent, the passion is curious, the passion is like just like very lovey-dovey energy. And if this is not really resonating with you, if you're like, no, me and my partner, we are super passionate, but what keeps you guys together is when you guys find those times of innocence and gentleness, because there has been things that you've gone through that has to be forgiven, right? We all make mistakes, especially when committed relationships. I think it's very easy for us to pile on mistake after mistake, but when we really truly forgive someone and we don't like hold a grudge or bring up the situation later on because, you know, we've been holding it and storing it within ourselves, then we can really move through different chapters of authenticity, right? And like really grow and really give that space for the other person to expand themselves as well. Super beautiful. Okay, so what kind of pulls you guys apart? Interesting enough, we have the tear here. So there's something about the crown chakra. I gotta be honest, because I have this purple and now I'm seeing this purple here. You sometimes either the conversations or one of you are a little more emotional than the other, or one person can't really stand when someone cries, I gotta be honest, or it can even be the suppression of tears from someone or from both of you, okay? So for you who are watching this, please, this is a general message. There's definitely different energies, so if this does resonate, great. If it doesn't, then just, leave it, right? Leave that message behind and see if there's anything else, but again, no attachment, right? So what I'm seeing here, it's like this tear, this tear energy is what pulls you apart because again, there could be a sense of like, because you guys have gone through so many different trials and tribulations, it's kind of like, dang, sometimes when you guys get back to this place that's here, you're just like, why? You know, it brings up all of this energy, like suppressed energy. So definitely, I'm already tapping into like, what is the biggest like lesson in this relationship, and I guess in most relationships, right, is this forgiveness energy, is the forgiveness of our emotions, is the forgiveness of our feelings and our thoughts, because those are fleeting, those are coming and going, and sometimes we can overreact to things, right? And so when we overreact, we step out of this space of innocence, we step out of this space of forgiveness, and we move into an emotional space where we may lose control. So if one of you guys have like some emotional, you can't control your emotions sometimes, that can really bring a gap into the relationship. But of course, you know, being aware of this, seeing this, and realizing, accepting that, you know, you might have some work to do when it comes to emotional regulation, emotional intelligence, then you can, again, move forward and forgive. So what's the biggest lesson in this relationship? Yeah, look at this, recovery. And when I look at this card, I'm just seeing like the forgiveness energy, right? Like the fact that you guys can recover so easily. And again, if you are feeling like this whole reading does not match with your energy, then this might not be the reading for you. But if it does match with your energy, you guys are in this space of really holding space for each other, emotionally, holding space for each other in each other's mistakes, in each other's chapters, and the different things that you guys go through. It's actually a very beautiful thing. This relationship that I'm feeling here, it's very beautiful. And you're ready. Yeah, it's like you guys are your biggest cheerleaders. You guys are your like biggest, it's like, and then I get all these purple and obviously gold, but there's this energy of like, we can do it. You guys are like, we are going to surmount the mountains. We're going to do the things we need to do together. And we are ready for this. We're ready to become more emotionally intelligent. Ooh, I love that. Okay, so let's pull just some 3 tarot cards just to see what other energy for pile 2, those in a committed relationship. What brings them together, what pulls them apart, and what's the biggest lesson? Okay, so we have the High Priestess. Wow, look at how similar these cards look. I love this because pile 1 also had this like similarity in certain cards. The Chariot, wow, this is real. This is Major Arcana, and then one more. The Queen of Cups. Ooh, I love this. So if you're feminine watching this, you are definitely leveling up when it comes to your emotions. We do have the moon under here. So again, this very feminine, emotional energy. Shadow energy as well. I think this is very powerful. Either you are in a very powerful time with your partner, or you guys are about to enter into a very, just like emotionally tapped in, like you guys are gonna be touching each other through the subtle realities of life, okay? Because of this High Priestess energy, I just can't help but think like, wow, like you guys are connected, and you guys are becoming more connected through the emotional body, because this is what I felt with the tears, with this rose garden. It's kind of like your emotional bodies are gaining energy, and your guys' connection is really deepening. Very, very beautiful. And then it's like you guys are moving forward, right? You guys are balancing the shadows, balancing that energy of moving forward and seeing, are we on the same page? Are we going to the same place? And I really do see that you are. You're ready, right? And it's like, keep going, keep gaining that momentum. But most importantly, be emotionally mature. You know, what is going to take a relationship all the way, right, through years and years of marriage, or through years and years of being together, through the ups and downs. It's really emotional intelligence. And so as you recover, as you forgive the past, as you forgive your traumas and the experiences that you have, as you tap into your intuition, or as you both tap into your intuition and you become both emotionally mature, there's nothing that can stop you guys. Truly, there's nothing that can stop you guys if you guys are both on the same page. Now, for some reason, if you came to this reading and you were like, hey, you know, my relationship's on the brinks, why? Why is my relationship on the brinks? Well, it's because of the emotional maturity. It's about this emotional irregularity, and having the emotional intelligence to go through life without holding on so much to the past experiences, and being able to really forgive someone. If you cannot really forgive someone, first, you have to turn it back to you, right? You have to turn it back to you. You have to see, what am I not forgiving within myself, right? What am I not doing for myself? And then in the second part of it, you say, how am I showing up in this relationship? Or how is this person showing up in the relationship? Are they able to hold me? Are they able to forgive me for my mistakes? But if both of you guys are holding on to all this past stuff, then unfortunately, it's going to be very hard to move forward. So the more that you recover and that you heal within yourself, the relationship will grow stronger, and you yourself would just be more emotionally mature. Okay, so that is what I have for you guys. I do hope that resonates. If you would like to book this reading, the Star-Crossed Lovers, you can. I'll put the information in the bio. And if you want to just have a general reading or one of my other offerings, I'll put that below as well. My books are open. I have one-on-one sessions. And of course, my Mysterium course for deeper shadow work integration for healers, artists, and visionary creators. So until next time, guys, thank you so much for being here. Lots of love.